in hearts not bound by walls. Seek the one who never leaves your side and heals your wounded soul. Beyond fear, beyond pain, there's a reason to live again. Come away from the sound. Come away. Beyond fear, beyond pain.
Greetings of peace and Om Shanti to everyone, all the brothers and sisters who have joined us tonight on this conversation series in the memory, or we are celebrating 40th anniversary with Brahma Kumaris Malaysia. The song was so beautiful. This last 2 years have actually taken us all back with so much fear and phobia. And we need to find a reason to live beyond those. And for such a beautiful conversation tonight, we've got such a sweet person joining us, who is not only an empowerment author, trainer, coach, and public speaker, but she's been a very, very long-standing friend of Brahma Kumaris. She has participated in many Brahma Kumaris workshops in Malaysia, India, UK, as well as United States. She has written few books. She will be talking about them as we speak with her tonight. May I call upon and invite Sister Shahreen Kamaluddin to join me tonight for this conversation series. Om Shanti, Sister Shahreen, and very warm welcome to this show. You might want to unmute.
Yes. Om Shanti, Sister Aparna, and a very good evening to everyone listening in. I just want to say thank you to Brahma Kumaris Malaysia for inviting me to participate in this series of conversations. I am really delighted to be here.
So as I start my journey on this conversation, I want to probe your journey about spirituality. So what actually made you interested, or what was you looking for, or what enticed you for spirituality?
My spiritual journey began when I realized that life is not meant to be a struggle. I felt that there must be more to life than the mundane daily routine of overcoming challenges. And I felt that there must be a secret to living a life of ease, peace, and joy. And that realization actually began in the late 1980s, during the height of my career in public relations. Everyone who is in public relations will attest to the fact that it is a very hectic and stressful career. And where I found that there wasn't enough time to do all the things that I needed to do within 24 hours of each day. And there were so many things and people that were not within my control. And it was this inability to control situations that made me feel very frustrated and powerless. But this, in a way, was a good thing, because it guided me to read countless life empowerment books. And I was introduced to read these books. And not only that, I met these authors of these wonderful books And I'll just maybe mention two of them here. One of my favorite authors is Dr. Deepak Chopra. He wrote one of his first books was The Seven Spiritual Laws of Success, which has universal appeal and is a timeless legacy. And then he went on to write more deeper books such as How to Know God. And then we have the more modern authors such as Rhonda Byrne, who many people would have read. She wrote The Secret, and there was a film made on it, and followed by The Magic. But what I did was not just read these books and absorb what they were teaching me, but I went all over the world and attended workshops conducted by these speakers. And that was where I met Dr. Deepak Chopra in person in Goa, India. And I invited him to Malaysia 3 times to speak in Kuala Lumpur. But I attended a lot of these empowerment workshops in India, I would say US, Australia, and Europe. And all of these books and speakers were saying the same thing. And they were saying that I create my own reality by the thoughts, words, and feelings which I choose to entertain and uphold. And that really struck a chord in me. And I felt that this was a golden nugget. So I practiced all the tools and techniques that were offered in these books, and they all helped. And this resulted in me having a life of ease and a successful career. And during that time, that was about in 1992, after I absorbed, I believed in what I read, and I practiced them and found benefit, I wanted to share them with the public. And I wrote my first book in 1992, which is called You Are What You Believe. You may not be able to see it here, but that's the title, You Are What You Believe. And I had authors such as Bob Proctor, who wrote positive reviews of this book. And this book actually marked the first phase of my journey inwards, because it focuses on the power of your beliefs and the power of positive affirmations. And that is that if you can get into the habit of speaking to yourself positively, it can really shift your energy and you can start to create a life that you desire.
So in which year or when actually you met Brahma Kumaris, and how did your Brahma Kumaris journey start?
I came into contact with the Brahma Kumaris about 25 years ago, which seems like a long time. It's a quarter of a century. Yeah. So, and this was in the late 1990s. So what happened was I was invited to several talks by BK speakers from overseas, from their global network. I attended workshops and retreats. And actually that was the time that I also met Daddy Janki and Daddy Prakash Mani for the first time at the Bangsa BK Center in Bangsa. And what happened after that was, this was in the late 1990s. And at that time, Daddy Janki had conceived of a special retreat, and it was called The Call of the Time. And it was, her motive was so altruistic. She wanted to provide leaders from various disciplines from all over the world with continuous spiritual sustenance as they serve others. And I was very attracted. And I was very lucky to be in the first group to be invited to the Call of Time retreat held at Mount Abu. Now this retreat is held every 2 years. And I have been to every one of them. So by now you can say that I have been to Mount Abu about 11 times already. And then, of course, there were two of these retreats that were held at Oxford, the Global Retreat Center in Oxford, and then later at Peace Village.
New York.
Yes, New York. So my experience in all these retreats deepened my experience of silence and meditation. And I met a lot of very wonderful spiritual people up at Mount Abu. And they have the best selection of speakers from all over the world. And they gather to, and we feel very privileged to listen to them at every call of the time retreat. And this marked the second phase of my spiritual journey. And again, as usual, after absorbing everything that I learned and practiced in silence and meditation, it prompted me to write my second book. And my second book is called Know Yourself, the Truth Will Set You Free. And this book shares the truth that when you know your real self or your true self, you will know real freedom. I realized then that I was the problem, but I am also the solution. And the more empowering thought is that I am also the wisher and the granter of my wishes. And this empowering thought simplified my whole life for me.
Maybe you said you went to Mount Abu and you went to Peace Village as well as you went to Oxford. Maybe you want to share something, some experiences that you met people, or what sort of things that you found, that something that touched your heart, and then you
Yes. Yeah. The Call of Time retreat is a very special retreat because it gathers people, leaders from all over the world, from various disciplines. So there was a time when I met a lord from Parliament, from Britain. Another time I met a producer who worked on the set of the film, the blockbuster film called Pi.
Okay.
I also met presidents of some countries, South American countries, and I met people from the media, and they come from all over, and there is such a wonderful sharing during these sessions. And because it was Dadi's brainchild, what was special was that Dadi made a special effort to be at every Call of the Time retreat, except when it was held in US and New York, because at that time she wasn't very well, but she's still connected with us online so that we could hear her message every day. So these are some of the special people
You
that
want
I've
to
met.
share about the people that you met, just because I think over time I've heard you at times sharing your things with us. Maybe you want to share the similar things, that what was the commonality with all these kind of, whether a lord from Parliament or whether big people from different countries, when they're getting together, what was the commonality in all of you that actually attracted you to come in again and again and join these retreats?
I found that whatever your discipline in life, whatever career you have, everyone is searching for the truth. Everyone is realizing that there's something missing in their lives right now. And in their search, they have been brought to the Brahma Kumaris, especially at the Call of the Time retreats. And the Call of the Time retreat is so specially designed. It gives you lots of time for silence and meditation. In this picture, this is in Peace Village in New York. The the centers in Oxford and New York sprawl over hundreds of acres of land. And the ambience, the greenery, the gardens, they are so conducive to silence and meditation. And that's the special thing about it. And I try not to miss. This, for example, is in New York. This is in Oxford. And if you look at the building there, I do not know whether you're like into Netflix and watch movies, but that building reminds me of the house in the film Downton Abbey. The Yellowstone is exactly the same as Downton Abbey. And I wish I had time to show you what the inside is like. It's so beautifully furnished, and there's just a very, very special ambiance that enhances your experience of silence and meditation. Look at that beautiful garden.
Yes.
This is in Oxford. Yeah.
Indeed. You were sharing something about the brother from Trinidad.
Oh, yes, yes. Now, what impressed me very much about the people who serve at these retreats is that it is almost like a selfless, soul-centered service that they offer to guests like us coming in. For example, when I was at Peace Village in New York, I was really blown over. The person who drove me to the airport, as I had a conversation with him, I found out that he comes from a family of jewelers in India. And then another time when I was meditating in the gardens, I met a gardener and we had a conversation. And he told me that he's here only he was there only on weekends. And I said, what do you do? He's a litigation lawyer in New York. And on weekends, he comes to help with the gardening at Peace Village. And then, of course, I have this very special brother. His name is Brother Vijay. He comes wherever the Call of Time retreat is held, he flies in from Trinidad and he arranges all of our transportation. And you can imagine what a huge task that is, because we are flying from all over the world and we have individual preferences and requests. And this man is just so happy to serve. All of them are happy to serve. And I was very, very touched that there is an emphasis in the Brahma Kumaris that there is no ego, there is no focus on labels and status. You almost like blend into the background. Your identity is not important because you are a soul.
So what are the teachings that you like the most about Brahma Kumaris?
Several things, Sister Aparna. One of the most important things is that the Brahma Kumaris teaches universal values, inner peace, silence, and meditation, which leads to self-transformation. And you are practicing that. You believe in self-transformation first before you try and change other people or try to change the world. You know? So I find that these values have universal appeal and practical application in all aspects of daily life. And the other thing, for example, is the BK emphasis on soul consciousness. You know how we are all so stressed every day? We are so much in the outer world that dictates our lives, that you focus on soul consciousness. And whenever you say the word, I am a peaceful, loving soul, I am reminded of the fact that I am a spiritual being more than a human being, that I am in fact a soul. And that as a soul, I have all the innate qualities and power to transmute or transform all the struggles of daily life. And suddenly all the outward challenges that I face appear totally insignificant when I remember that I'm a soul above all these mundane experiences.
quite a number of time, like when we actually move on, I've heard people talking about, oh, when my mom actually started on her spiritual journey, I saw her transform. So did you get similar kind of reactions from your family or relations at workplace after you actually began this journey?
Definitely. I would like to start with my family,
Mhm.
and I want to thank them for being so, what do you call that, supportive of my journey and my going off and disappearing for these retreats overseas that take a lot of time. They send me to the airport, they wave me goodbye and so forth. But when I come back, they definitely see each time a major transformation. And if I may put it in perspective, I can say that, for example, my husband, his name is Kamal, and he had several nicknames for me before. But over time, when I returned from the Call of the Time retreats, the nicknames changed to Angel. And it stayed there. And I must say, I like that nickname best of all.
And you became one.
Say again?
And you became one, right? You became an angel, so that's why you got.
Thank you. It's a lovely thought and a lovely experience. And what I find that this experience of meditation and silence has transformed all other relationships as well. My work relationships, my social life, friends, and if I may say, I did share with you in one of the conversations that it cuts across the board wherever we go or wherever I am. Or give you an example. It does not matter if I meet a cab driver or a waiter or anyone else who offers a service, but the service is always excellent. And it's amusing how when we enter a restaurant, the waiters are so happy to see us, they rush out to greet us, and sometimes there are two of them who are clamoring to serve us, and they're practically edging the other person out. And sometimes they're giving us one order, but as one person brings the order, the other one will rush to bring the other one and give us extra helpings. So it's like this genuine feeling to give us their best is so heartwarming. And that is just on the
I think the way you are just now sharing, right? I find similarly, like most of the places, if I go around, I think I become the first topic of discussion, whether it is about my food habits, whether it is about my clothing or whatever. So somehow the thing has been transferred. People do get attracted, and then you get served in such a genuine, humble way that. And so I feel that what we have, we get the same in return.
Yes. Isn't it all about energy, And I remember Dr. Deepak Chopra telling me personally, he says there is information in your energy. In other words, you don't have to speak, you don't have to talk. But when you are in the presence of someone or in a restaurant, your energy is returned to you by the law of attraction. In other words, if we are positive and we have love in our hearts, among all the waiters there, the one that has love in his heart will rush out and come out and serve you, And it's not just about waiters, okay? That is one class of people. Let me tell you about my experience with my domestic help. 3 years ago, my previous maid, finished her contract and she was going home. And as usual, I just wondered, what would the next person be like? Would she be as good and hopefully better? But as I was thinking of what qualities I wanted in the new person. My son, Ijan, my second son, just told me, Mom, don't stress. Why don't you just repeat to yourself this affirmation? And it was brilliant. He said, every day say from now on, the perfect mate is coming in the perfect way. And you know that she came in the perfect way. And not only she is perfect in every way, but she shares the same birth date as me.
Wow.
How amazing is that? My God, no, she has the same birthday. So we are like twins, When I feel I want something done, I don't even have to say it. I'm thinking of it upstairs, and when I come down, it's done. So how easy can life be? How much easier can life be for me? Just think of that. So I have a lot to be grateful for, and I have the words thank you on my lips throughout the day.
I think when you say...
And then the other thing that I can share with you is that, you know how we say, you go inwards, you connect with your inner self, and then from there, you create your world outside. We are doing it in reverse. We let the outside world influence us, and we get stuck and we can't find the solution. So I found that, for example, all my skills have improved. This is another area, I'm a public speaker and an author and a PR consultant. My speaking skills have improved because I speak from my soul. My writing skills have improved because I write from my soul, And my organizing and communication skills are not stressful because I'm operating from my inner peaceful self, So my meetings are fruitful. And as a result, like you, people will ask, what caused this transformation? When they see me not stressed, they say, what did you do? Are you taking some kind of vitamin?
No, and when you say that, definitely the inner strength in us, I think gives us that differentiation. Because when you're working, just now when you mentioned, right, that I'm working. Yeah. If you were working earlier, the only thing that you transformed is understanding that you can do the same work peacefully, right? And the moment you do that, the work gets done maybe at a faster pace.
Yes. Yeah. But when you work from within, your inner qualities, love, peace, and joy, permeate into every area of your life, and they affect everyone around you, and that's the beauty, that it's just about tuning inwards, and then your outer life gets so well sorted out.
A lot of times people feel like if we are talking about meditation or spirituality, so you must sit in one room or one corner, sit in silence, and then stop thinking. Yeah. How do you practice spirituality in your daily life?
Okay, firstly, I make it a practice. I do find time to meditate about an hour every morning, and that somehow resets my compass for the day. I am peaceful before I leave the house, and that inner peace is sustained because I meditate daily. But I fully agree with you that it's not, meditation and silence is not about having a specific room or needing a specific room to meditate, and that's the only time you meditate, and then after that you go out and you forget all about that inner peace. But I have learned and practiced that after you do your meditation and when you leave the house, you continue being in a meditative state. In other words, that inner sanctuary in which you have built your inner peace, you carry with you. That inner sanctuary walks with you, talks with you, and interacts with everyone. And it doesn't matter what you're doing, whether you're having a meeting, chairing a meeting, or doing household chores. But you can wash dishes in a meditative state and it's beautiful, you know. You can chair a meeting and it goes smoothly. I think that you listen better to people when you're in a meditative state, you know. So that meditative state should continue throughout the day and from one day to another. And one thing I know, Sister Aparna, is that like all good habits, you need to sustain the practice. You can't do it one day and then forget and, you know, think that I've done a few hours of meditation, that's it. No, it needs to be sustained. And from my experience, it is about gathering positive momentum.
Mhm.
If you sustain it, you do it daily, eventually that habit, without you realizing it, you go on autopilot. And then you find you're doing it naturally without any effort. And that's the beauty of sustaining a good practice, like meditation or
So
silence.
something like make it into a habit.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Yeah.
What if people, when even during devotional practices, whether whichever religion that they believe in, when they get something or they attain certain things, they always feel like giving back. So what are your thoughts on giving back, and have you actually done, what have you been doing on this give back for the benefits that you have reaped?
Yes. As I said, I have been so attracted to this knowledge of self-empowerment that whatever I know, I am motivated to share immediately. And that's why I wrote my first book and my second book. You know, that's one way of giving. And what I did after that was, as you know, I'm a PR consultant, I still am. But all this knowledge was sitting in my head. And I said, I must share it. So I set up another company called Life Empowerment, and I conducted empowerment workshops for the public as well as for corporations. And in these workshops, I do talk about things like this. I talk about self-empowerment. I talk about special skills. I talk about tuning inwards and how, especially leaders who live stressful lives, if they only practiced tuning inwards and sustaining a practice of silence and being in a meditative state, I think that they would be much better leaders and lead much more peaceful lives, you know. So I have shared through my books. I have, I write articles regularly on my website called lifeempowerment.co, you know, on various topics of self-empowerment. And I give talks and workshops. So this is what I have done. And it created a second career for me. From public relations, being, you know, all the time dealing with the public and so stressful, it naturally guided me inwards to know myself better, to communicate with myself. Then I wrote the second book, Know Yourself, The Truth Will Set You Free. And I'm all the time sharing knowledge with others. You know?
And that's the reason I think you have even conducted certain programs for Brahma Kumaris when Sister Jayanti and Sister Maureen have visited us here, right?
Yes, that's right. Isn't that a beautiful picture with Sister Maureen? Beautiful picture. Yeah.
Yes.
I feel that the Brahma Kumaris has done so much for me, that I make myself available to the Brahma Kumaris organization. And I give talks whenever I'm invited to. I have, what do you call that? Hosted several speakers from overseas, such as Sister Jayanti, when she came to Kuala Lumpur, and Sister Maureen. I hosted a public talk at the Women's Institute of Management and invited about 200 people who came and thoroughly enjoyed themselves. And I've been a facilitator for talks on YouTube by Sister Shivani, a very popular speaker, and Brother Ken O'Donnell from Peru. And I've always made myself available for interviews such as this one, where I talk about my association with the Brahma Kumaris and how I have benefited from them. Yeah.
So at 40 years of Brahma Kumaris, this year, it's really a landmark year for us. And the teachings that you spoke about unity and selfless. So we picked up something which was close to our hearts, because Malaysia being a multiracial country, we felt that unity, respect, and love was literally flowing, right? And I think this became so-called the qualities that we wanted to celebrate in this 40th year. What you have to share on, maybe you want to share your thoughts on this.
Yeah. Well, I think that you have picked on some or three wonderful qualities or virtues. And if I may say, love actually encompasses unity and respect. Because when you feel love for another, you feel oneness with with everyone and everything. And I know for a fact that love is the highest form of respect that you can give to another. And the Brahma Kumari's mission of self-transformation, service above self, is a perfect demonstration of love, unity, and respect. And you offer your services to everyone, irrespective of race, religion, and culture. And it is a beautiful reminder that we are all one, one soul. We are all realizing the need to, the need to connect with our spiritual self. And in Brahma Kumaris, you offer your service selflessly without asking for anything in return. And there is no focus on identity, status, position. And I admire and respect your mission and practice very much.
I think the thought itself on universal brotherhood creates that harmony, just because you could be coming from any religion, you could be about any age, but the moment you walk into the center, I personally feel myself. I'm not sure, maybe you want to share something on that as well. The moment I walk in, I feel like I'm home.
Yes.
I don't find a difference. The skin color could be different, but the smile, the feelings, the things that we reciprocate, we resonate in the same frequencies. And it's just love, love, love everywhere, right? And it's so unconditional because there are no desires behind those, right?
Yes.
Maybe you want to share something that you have experienced as well.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. I feel that every time. In fact, the trip to Mount Abu takes several hours, from below the hill to go right up to the summit at Mount Abu. But all the way, the journey, it's like you start to feel the calm and the peace. But the minute you arrive at Madhuban, I think that place, because of so many years of people meditating, the vibrations are very, very strong, and you immediately feel the peace and the calm, and it is like returning home, And I feel that very, very nice thought of returning home is what we all do. We are all returning home to our true selves, to our soul self. And I'm always reminded of this beautiful quotation, which says, we are not human beings having a spiritual experience. We must remember that we are spiritual beings
Yes.
having a human experience. And all that you teach, all the books that I have read, all the tuning inwards is a calling to return home. To return home to your true self, so that when you know yourself, you will know true freedom. Which
So
happens to be the title of my second book.
I thought you were writing another book now, third book?
Yes, yes. So the first book marked the first phase of my spiritual journey. And then the second, in the year 2000, I'm finalizing my third book, and it's called Wake Up. Now is all you've got. And it's a call to people to wake up to their true nature, to their innate power, to create the life that they prefer, and not to feel like they are victims. We are, in fact, gifted by the divine with very powerful qualities to create the life that we want.
Mm.
So that will mark the third phase of my journey. And if you ask me whether there's anything that I want, I don't need anything. I feel I have everything. And all I want to do is to continue to tune inwards, know myself better, and strengthen my connection with the divine. And I feel my life is complete.
So if I ask you, like, in the next phase, together with Brahma Kumaris, how would you envision like the Brahma Kumaris together with you? How would you bring about harmony or unity in the society?
Yes.
We do see some upheavals happening lately, because I think COVID really devastated a lot of us. So, but how would you envision moving forward? How we could maintain that?
Yeah. Well, apart from the pandemic, I mean, you're 40 years now, doing this thing. I feel that y'all have done a great job, and then you should continue to do what y'all are doing, and to continue to focus on the universal values of inner peace, silence, and meditation. And I feel that this message has universal appeal. It cuts across all barriers, race, culture, creed. And I can see the Brahma Kumaris reaching out and giving people what they need in the sense of this inner peace and the state of inner peace to help them deal with their daily challenges better. Continue to do that. And I feel that you have done some wonderful collaborations with various groups of people of all ages as well, the youth, the mature audience, and people, a very diverse group. Continue to do that. And continue with more collaborations. Sometimes when you have someone collaborate with you, you get a new crowd coming in, and that's your opportunity to spread your beautiful message to a different group of people.
I think sometimes it's the journey of the people. They also will come in touch with us when it's time for them to get that spiritual raindrop.
Yes.
Don't you?
Yes, absolutely. Like I did.
Yeah. I was surprised. You were 25 years ago, and I just came maybe 10, 12 years ago, half the time.
Well, it's not about the length of time, isn't it? It's how deep each person comes in. Each person comes in and takes what they want, I feel. Yeah. Like I have come in and taken what I want, and I feel that I have maximized the benefit, as I have done in all the stages of my spiritual journey. Whatever I have learned, I have practiced, and it's up to the individual to take as as much benefit as they want from what you are offering.
Sometimes it is, I think, not only how we carry ourselves, but even being empathetic towards people. I think that can bring about that a bit of differentiation, because a lot of time people will sympathize, but I think now they need to move to a next level of being a bit more empathetic, where they can get associated, and that's how the ones who are really needy will be able to pick up those spiritual raindrops, just because they understand that we understand their situations as well.
Yes, I feel that for those people, being in touch with the center often is good, because you're constantly having programs. And actually, I haven't seen any other organization that provides daily sustenance, daily spiritual nourishment to souls, you know, of different cultures, creeds, you know, and religion. And people who, the more often they come, they can get the vibrations, they can get help from those who have had more experience. So that's good. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just recollecting when you were saying that spirituality or meditation is not just just 1 hour of sitting. Yes, that empowers you yourself, but how do you ensure that you are transforming to make this world a better place to live? People will talk about it, people write books on it, people will speak or share their thoughts, but I think becoming the walk the talk is leading by example. And then I think you are really giving back to the society to ensure this world becomes a better place to live in. And I loved your thought that time that yes, spirituality is like moved throughout the day.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You know, that when you discover something good, and then you want to share, I am always reminding myself that before I share, I have to walk the talk, because I'm a walking, talking example of my thoughts and my words and my actions, you know. So I wouldn't dare share something that I haven't myself fully practiced and absorbed. And I'm constantly reminding myself that walk the talk, you know. And that's how, you know, others can see by your example,
Yeah.
whether they want to.
Example. Otherwise, I know even at home, people can just corner you and say, hey, you didn't practice this, but you're asking me to do so.
Yes, I have reminders in my family. I remember at one time when I came back, you know, and I probably was a little bit stressed, or they would always tell me, if Daddy heard you say that, you know, she would have something to say about that. So I get it back, you know, from them. Daddy wouldn't do that, you know. I'm glad Daddy did hear you, and now you can see that they have my family has the spill-off benefits of what I have learned. My children meditate. My husband has been to Mount Abu once, you know, and we share books on self-empowerment, and my kids are always reflecting back to me, Mom, you know, walk the talk. So I have enough reminders for which I'm glad, because if I didn't have these reminders, I, you know, their reminders strengthen my faith. Yeah.
So if I want to say, share your good thoughts, good wishes for Brahma Kumaris, what would you say to the family on a parting note, right?
Yeah.
Before we tonight. So what are your wishes for the family?
Okay, yeah. Firstly, I offer my heartiest congratulations to all the BKs in Malaysia as you celebrate your 40th anniversary. And I feel that every BK can be proud of their individual contribution to the BK, to the Brahma Kumaris Malaysia, and they have contributed to Brahma Kumaris Malaysia to what it is today. Yeah? And then I have special congratulations to the pioneers of Brahma Kumaris Malaysia, and they include Brother Jyoti, Brother Lechu. Are you there, brother? I've known Brother Lechu for so long, from the very, very beginning, you know. I've also met Brother Pio, you know, he's one of the pioneers. And of course, Sister Mira, who I meet quite often at all the events, and I have co-organized events with her. Now, I feel that these pioneers throughout the decades have been steadfast to the goals and mission of the Brahma Kumaris, and they have really dedicated their whole lives to ensuring that Brahma Kumaris Malaysia grows from strength to strength, and they have done a marvelous job. So, heartiest congratulations to them. I would like to end on, I would be remiss if I did not end on the note of expressing my gratitude to the Brahma Kumaris. Yeah, I want to take this opportunity to express my deep gratitude to Brahma Kumaris Malaysia, Brahma Kumaris, the global organization, for inviting me to all the retreats and events over this 25 years or more. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart for the countless ways in which you have helped me transform myself, especially through silence and meditation. And I'm happy to state that prayer, to me, prayer, silence, meditation, developing self-awareness, and soul consciousness are the best investments that I have made in my life.
So beautiful and spot on.
Thank you.
And I told you, you looked really divine in white.
I thought of wearing white today, but I picked out this coat, which which people may notice is the same in the photograph of this flyer. And I hadn't worn this suit for many years, so I took it out today.
So maybe the next step of transformation, where you really, from an appearance perspective, also you will be an angel in white.
Thank you so much, Sister Aparna, for these beautiful thoughts.
And with this, both of us will share drishti with the family. And as we take the last song for the day, where I think you and me we shared the same birth month. And that's why I think I found so many synergies with you. And I feel like both of us are really indebted, or we have that deep gratitude towards Brahma Kumaris, who have given us this platform to transform ourselves first before we are trying to transform the world. And I think that's the reason we spread that positivity, that vibrations, which brings about the change so automatically. We don't have to do much, just because the divine brings that together with him, right? And on this, I thank everyone who had joined us tonight. We'll share this drishti. We'll conclude tonight with a thank you song, where both Sister Shahreen and myself, we both felt that the inspirations, the things that we have reaped from the family, from the organization, is far beyond or cannot be expressed in words, actually. But maybe with this musical ending, it will do slight justice to tonight's conversation. Thank you, everyone, and Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
We will be having these conversations on like every Thursday, And I think the subsequent conversation will be next Thursday, same time from 7:40 to 8:40.
Thank you for your inspiration, for your life and love. Thank you for your recognition of the one above. Thank you for your sweet compassion, for your life of truth. Thank you for walking on this earth. Thank you for being you. The river flows back to the ocean. The trees turn back to dust. The sun must set as the day ends, and so shall all of us. The gift of silence is returned to each one soul by soul. I know you hold it in your heart as you watch your life unfold. So go to the sea, flow to the ocean, fly like a bird to his arms. Take all the love of all who will miss you, but know we are never apart. Thank you for your inspiration, for your life and love. Thank you for your recognition of the one above. Thank you for your sweet compassion, for your life of truth. Thank you for walking on this earth. Thank you for being you. Oh, thank you for walking on this earth. Thank you for being you.